Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of AniBreak, the show where we break down the week's hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and the two big topics going on this week, one, everyone's prepping for Anime Expo 2013, which is just next week. Cosplayers are going like crazy to try to complete their outfits. Merchants are probably are starting to pack or even on their way to the convention center. I know my friends who are staffing, some are freaking out, some are like, we got this. I mean, it all depends on what division you're in. Of course, the other one being that starting actually next week is the summer anime season, and we're going to give a first look at some of the upcoming brand new series and a couple returning series as well. But before we get to any of that, we want to talk about just a couple bits of news. First off, I've been talking nonstop about Ghost in the Shell Arise, and the first OVA has been shown in theaters in Japan, and the reviews have come in, and people are stating that it is fantastic. Now, while it's good to read that and all, I want to watch it myself, so I'm hoping to be one of the 2,500 that's actually going to be able to pick up one of Funimation's Ghost in the Shell Arise Blu-rays when they first come out as a special edition. But speaking of, brand new Ghost in the Shell Arise, and it's getting massive praise both in Japan and here in the States. Here's the question though: what's after? What's going to continue on? Is it going to stop? Are they going to stop after the 4 episodes? Are they going to create another movie? Are they going to create a new TV series? Who knows what's going to happen? Well, there was an interview with the founder of Production I.G, Mitsuhisa Ishikawa, and they were discussing, of course, about the history of Ghost in the Shell, the franchise. Well, he has stated that he wants to make it a continuing franchise. He compared it to, say, like, Production IG wants Ghost in the Shell to be that company's Gundam, to where you'll have a new series or project or OVA or movie once every couple of years, something continually moving forward. And at first up, I was like, hell yeah, more Ghost in the Shell. I'm all for this. But then that got me, there was a bit of hesitation afterwards. Looking at, okay, Production IG, obviously they know their stuff. They do fantastic work. And I've enjoyed all the stuff they've worked with Ghost in the Shell in the past. But if you start making it like we're going to create something new every couple of years and have it keep on going, you run the risk of the quality level kind of dropping a bit. And I'm hoping that that does not become the case, because this is one of my favorite series of all time. But it's still great to know that even though people are praising Ghost in the Shell Arise, it's not going to be the end of the franchise. So I'm looking forward to that. And because he's going to be at Anime Expo next week, damn well I'm going to be at that panel, which we'll talk about in a little bit. There was actually a surprising bit of news that I'm surprised that flew under my radar, that Dragon Ball creator, the mangaka Akira Toriyama, is actually going to be starting a brand new manga next month. So this is going to be quite interesting. We have the cover for the magazine's going to be part of it right here. This one's going to be called Galaxy Patrol Jako. Not sure what to expect from this, even though I am a fan of his previous, of the Dragon Ball manga. Actually, a little more so than the Dragon Ball anime. I'm looking forward to see how this is going to turn out. This is going to be over in Japan on Shonen Jump once a month. We're probably looking at quite a while before we even get a hint at this stateside. But I'm hoping, given the fact of the pedigree behind this brand new manga title, that somebody will bring this over ASAP, because I think this would actually be really cool to check out. I mean, yes, you're going to have Akira Toriyama's iconic style, and a lot of people will look at that and go, well, isn't that just basically Dragon Ball Z but with a different plot? No, it's not going to be anything close to Dragon Ball Z, or at least I hope it won't. But only time will tell. So Once we get like a preview translated English stateside, I will definitely let you guys know. And finally, before we jump into the AX news, Otakon wanted to remind you that they have a convention coming up, and they have an epic lineup, and they're continually adding to it. Yeah, they already had me with Yoko Kanno and a number of other great guests. But then, earlier today, they made the announcement of yet another guest of honor. They have announced, coming to Otakon this year, director, screenwriter, and music producer Shinichiro Watanabe. He's most famously known around here as the director of the iconic Cowboy Bebop series and, of course, the movie. He also directed Samurai Champloo. If you guys remember last year, he also directed Kids on the Slope and collaborated with Yoko Kanno for the music. He's also worked, as a music producer on the new Loop on the Third TV series. Also another series that I think is just starting to make its way stateside, which is called Michiku to Hachin. Amazing series. You guys need to check it out. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh, damn it. I mean, I already knew that I had to make it to, Otakon one way or another this year. And this is just now, okay. Yes, AX has some cool people. The fact that they brought many of the higher-ups from Production IG and WIT Studio, I'm very thankful for that. And I'll be going to their panels and I'll be I'll be looking forward to that. But overall, at least for me, the number of guests that I want to see at Otakon far outweigh what AX has in stock. But you know what? That's not everyone's opinion. I mean, that's just my own opinion. They do have some great guests. They have far exceeded, the vast number of guests in terms of different industries for this year. But we'll get to that in just a moment. But yes, if you guys are going to Otakon, just a cherry on the epic cake already. The director of Cowboy Bebop and many others, Shinichiro Watanabe. Lucky Otakon, guys. Lucky East Coast people. I want to go to that. I mean, it is Otakon's 20th, and they are going all out, and they're definitely in the right to be doing so. But let's just jump into Anime Expo, because they have, oh god, what's the list right now? As of this moment, 22 guests of honor and 16 actually high-profile industry guests. They're essentially guests of honor without the title. I think the biggest industry guest that they've actually announced so far, surprised the hell out of me, and I'm really stoked to go check it out, is Makoto Shinkai, the famous director, and he has a brand new movie called The Garden of Words, which AX is actually showing, and there's several films that's going to be shown at the convention this year that I highly recommend. Get to those in just a moment. They also brought many people from the figure industry, like you have Takanoriaki, basically the head of Good Smile Company, which in my mind is one of the best figure companies out there right now. Definitely at least one of the most popular. In the chat, Kathy's like, it's so weird that Vic Mignogna doesn't have a panel according to the guide. Well, technically he kind of does. There is a 21 and over lounge, well, at times it's 21 and over, called Lounge 21, usually overlooking either main events or the exhibit hall. And that one, apparently Vic's gonna actually have like a mini concert / Q&A karaoke session in there. I forget exactly on which day, but for fans of Vic Mignogna and his work, you're free to go there and check it out. The actual guests of honor that AX has announced this year kind of run the gamut from, okay, kind of expected that, to, okay, these are kind of cool, to, okay, fine, you got me on these ones. A lot of people will look at the lineup and how they announced them in what order, and some people will say, oh man, they planned it out perfectly, keep the best people to last. No, that's just because the contracts weren't signed in that order, so it just happened they kept some of the bigger names for last. I mean, yes, they announced Porno Graffiti, which are taking over Club Nokia. It's the only AX event that's taking place in Club Nokia this year. Everything else is taking place within the convention center. You also have some, great English voice actors: Eric Vale, Kale Bear, Chris Sabat, Johnny Young Bosch. He's bringing his band iShine, which I think has a concert on day 3. Don't quote me on that. Of course, Danny Chu is coming back, and actually, I like the guy. I like what he does. I like his panels, and I'm looking forward to talking with him again. AX also has a number of great DJs coming over to spin all night long. It's going to be fantastic. They have a couple cosplayers coming as guests of honor this year. That's kind of a new thing, but that's fine. It seems like also they have a small set of visual K bands. Now, I know there's a small niche group that absolutely loves visual K. And to me, I can kind of understand it, but it's just not for me. I'm probably going to skip on those concerts. Nothing against them whatsoever. But I think the big people that they announced were, of course, all the the higher ups of Production IG, also Wit Studio. So you have people who worked on Ghost in the Shell and Rise and Attack on Titan, and they're going to be hosting panels and possibly a couple screenings, and you know where I'm going to be. Now, I was really surprised, along with many of you, that AX broke tradition and actually released at least a preliminary schedule weeks before the con. We usually only get to see the schedule around now for the first time, so that was kind of nice. Was able to schedule a few things out here and there. I was pleasantly surprised that one of my panels was actually approved, and that is the Ultimate Geek Showdown panel that you guys should definitely check out. That's going to be on day 1, which is July 4th, at 8:15 p.m. in Workshop 2, up in the 500 wing. I'm going to be joined by my good friend and great magician, William Draven. Should be a hell of a lot of fun. Last year, like we talked about before, Batman vs. Darth Vader, and Batman rightfully won. This year, we're going to go, hopefully, doubles. I already have my team picked out. I need to talk to Draven and see which one he has, and get things ready for you. It's going to be an absolute blast. There may be a couple other special things that happen during that panel. You guys will have to just show up and check out. I am planning on recording it if I can, depending on what the tech setup is like in there. And if I'm able to do so, I will definitely post it up sometime after the convention for those of you who were not able to make it. But I just want to talk about a couple other panels that you may be interested in, and you may not even thought about actually going to check out. First up, industry panels, and that's a very wide, topic, industry. But I'm talking about specifically like Funimation, Viz, Sentai Filmworks, Crunchyroll, basically the distribution companies, stateside. They usually have the biggest announcements. They usually have some sort of a surprise. They may even have a giveaway or two during their panels. And those panels are a good indication about what to expect from the U.S. anime industry over the next 6 months. And I know a lot of these companies save some big announcements for the AX time frame, so it's well worth checking those out. I know Funimation has several panels, so it's kind of a pick and choose. Although they do have one, I think, on day 1. Yes, day 1 around 3:30, called the Funimation Sneak Peek panel. So that probably gives you a bunch of trailers about what to expect. And given the fact that Funimation's already made the announcement that they're going to release a special limited edition DVD and Blu-ray of Ghost in the Shell Arise Part 1, I think by the end of July, it makes me wonder if they're going to continue on that path. I know Sentai Filmworks has been doing that for a while now and doing great at it, so maybe that's them trying to compete with Sentai. We'll see. Unfortunately, some of these great panels are kind of at the same time they loop over each other. Like, I noticed a couple, like the Funimation Sneak Preview panel is the exact same time frame as the Sentai Filmworks panel. So it's one of those, it's kind of a toss-up. Which one do you really want to go to? Now, there's a couple other smaller panels, I should state. Well, by small, I mean it probably won't fill the 2,500 seat capacity of LP1. We'll see. Well, with the exception of this one, Good Smile Company is actually going to be joining guest of honor Hugh at his Hugh's panel in LP1. That's also going to be Ultra Super Pictures and Max Factory. Representatives from all of them are going to be there. If you are a figure collector, that's the panel to go to. That's going to be a jam-packed one. I have no idea if there's going to be anything regarding giveaways there, but who knows? These are some great people there. I've interviewed several of the members that are going to be up there on stage. They are a blast to talk to, and I'll definitely be there. And of course, there is the Danny Chu panel. Now, Danny Chu, he has a very large chunk of time to himself. Like, all these other panels have an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Danny, he has 3 hours. So day 2 in LP1, he's going to basically taking over that entire area, which is in the Petrie Hall, from 9 a.m. to noon. So I have no idea what to expect from that, but I'll probably pop in from time to time. And then let's talk about a couple of other smaller ones you might not have thought about going to, but you guys should probably check out. On day, I want to say day 2, day 2, there are actually 2 panels called Mirai no Niro, the Vocaloid Producers panel. Basically, they get a ton of Vocaloid producers from Japan. Most of them actually are flown over to participate in these panels. Some of them actually premiere music videos, new songs. You can go talk with them, get Q&A. It's actually a cool way to see what's going to happen in, the, I guess you can call it now the Vocaloid industry, because it's so huge. There's another one on day 2 in the morning around 10 a.m. You actually might want to check it out. It's called Video Reviews with Jesu Otaku. Now, Jesu Otaku, she actually hosts anime reviews on thatguywiththeglasses.com. As my dogs start going to bark. It was interesting with her reviews that they're actually quite entertaining, and for those of you who are considering actually, I might want to do something like that, very similar, that's probably the best time to go check it out, talk with her, get some questions answered, maybe you can get a picture or autograph, or just go there to laugh and have a good time. Surprisingly for this year, AX is hosting an AMV room, like a room that's open the entire length of con that's nothing but AMV stuff. So that's going to be interesting. I know Troy's incredibly busy and, of course, incredibly stressed out from that. There's going to be some cool stuff in there. There's going to be some non-AMV panels in that area. Specifically, on day 3 at 10 a.m., there's going to be the annual ANN cast that's recorded at Anime Expo. So, Zach from ANN is going to be there to take your questions and probably bring a bag of crap to give away as prizes. Last year's were pretty entertaining. People were like, I got a prize! I didn't want this yet. No. So, it's still entertaining. You guys want to check that one out. There actually are a number of live interactive performances. Well, 2 out of 3 of these I'm going to talk about are interactive. But these are live performances that have just recently started coming to Anime Expo. One is called Dungeon Master, and this is actually a bi-weekly summer series of live events where you can essentially roleplay. Like, you can go to these performances. If you wanted to participate, you enter information, your name, your character. Oh, I can do this, this. And it kind of becomes a completely interactive Dungeons & Dragons game with an audience, which is a hell of a lot of fun. And they are coming back to Anime Expo this year. And, of course, this year's event will have a definite anime theme. Not sure exactly what it is going to be, but last year's was a lot of fun. You guys want to check that out. They also have a spin-off series called Adventure, kind of along the same lines. They're also going to be at Anime Expo. You guys want to check those out. These are absolutely free to go to. And if you want to have some fun, go check out these friends. Laugh at your friends, or even laugh at yourself for jumping in. They are, like I said, they are a ton of fun. You guys want to check them out. They are going to take place Dungeon Masters Day 2 at 6 p.m. in LP4, the Little Theater, 411. And in the same room the following day, Day 3, at 5 p.m. is Adventure. AX is going definitively adult late night. And no, I'm not talking about the 18 and up only dance. There is an event going to happen, I think it's Day 1. Oh, no, sorry, Day 3. It starts at 9:30 p.m., goes to midnight, and it's called Myth. It is a magic/burlesque show. So, and I know William Draven's going to be hosting that, working on it, so it should be very interesting, very tasteful. I know his magic is amazing. It impresses me all the time. He used to host the magic shows at past AXs, usually called the Magic Macabre. Looks like they teamed up with this burlesque troupe to bring this to AX. This is going to be on site in LP1, but due to the nature, it is 18 up, and they are charging for seats on this one, so we'll see what happens with that one. I have no idea how many tickets they've sold on it yet. Hopefully it's enough for them not to, feel left out. And of course, the other event that you have to pay for outside of your ticket to the convention itself is the Porno Graffiti concert, because that's taking place at the at Club Nokia in LA Live. Now there are a couple other things going on in the LA Live area that are anime, J-pop, J-rock based. We've talked before. It's basically, if you saw these at the Regal Cinemas, it's the J Music Live Viewing 2013 event where they have a number of these recent concerts from Japan. They're going to stream them on the big screen, which is quite nice. But there is going to be one live one, and that was going to be Vamps. That's basically Hyde and Kaz. They're gonna, they got together back in 2008, and people have been going crazy for them ever since. They are going to have a live concert that's going to be streamed to that theater July 7th at 4 p.m. Now, if you guys want to go to that one, it is $25 because that's not part of Anime Expo, but it's still kind of a cool thing to check out. Okay. There was only... Yeah, let me quickly talk about the movies. There are several movies. Many of them are premieres for the United States. They're going to be at Anime Expo. And I know there's one more left they haven't announced yet. You might notice in the video rooms there's a giant TBA section, so to be announced. But from what they've announced already, Funimation is bringing Wolf Children. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it, so I'll see it day 1 at 4:30 p.m. I'll probably be there just before I go to get ready for my panel that night. I know there's big hype over the Blue Exorcist movie. That's going to be complete with a question and answer session with, I think, the character designer of the movie and the TV series as well, I believe. The crowdfunded Production IG movie Kick Heart is going to be having its premiere, its US premiere at Anime Expo on day 2 at 1:30 in LP1. And if you stay for that, afterwards, the director, creator, Masaaki Yuasa, is going to be there for a question and answer session. That's kind of cool. I like that. Makoto Shinkai, we talked before, he's technically an industry guest, but come on, that's a guest of honor if I've ever heard of one. They're bringing his brand new movie, Garden of Words. It's going to be shown in Vid 1 on day 1 from 3 to 4 p.m. Now it's like, all these movies, epic movies, are starting to like overlap. So I got to make a choice, as well as you guys. Do you want to see? Well, I guess you can kind of maybe go through, because I know Garden of Words and Wolf Children are like maybe 10 minutes apart. So if you get from one and you run to the other, you might get there. The last bit that many people probably have not even heard of, or may have only heard it in passing, and it's an absolute blast, especially if you call it the blast from the past. Vid 3, a lot of the members who actually run the video rooms I'm actually friends with, and they are diehard fans of old school anime. And the best way to watch old school anime is not on VHS. It's not by, downloading it or putting it on DVD. No, you gotta watch it on Laserdisc, and they're gonna have a Laserdisc night, the night of day one, from 6 p.m. to midnight. It's nothing but Laserdisc anime, and I gotta tell you, they have a massive, massive collection that I am looking forward to seeing every single time. It's gonna be hard for me to break away from there because I have the panel to go to, but I'll probably go right back afterwards because it's freaking Laserdisc and classic anime, and it's the best way to watch it is that way. So I mean, that's all I'm gonna talk about with Anime Expo, just for the sole fact that it's 4 days. It's North America's largest convention, second longest running. They have, if you combine the guests of honor and the industry guests, you're well over 30 guests. There's something for everyone. They're even hosting a fashion show this year, for crying out loud. I know a lot of people might enjoy that. I'm going to kind of pass on that. That's just me. But it's going to be an absolute blast. Here's the thing, though, because day 0 is next Wednesday, and I actually have a good friend, and you guys remember him, Brian Yang, aka DJ Prex. He is closing out the dance on the night of day 0, so I'm gonna go check that out. The downside to that being, there will not be an AniBreak next week. I will be recording stuff at Anime Expo, and the following week we'll have a massive, coverage of all the news and what I checked out, and maybe a couple interviews. Who knows? But it'll be an absolute blast. I hope to see you guys there. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter, OtakuLife Jason. I'm going to be tweeting like crazy throughout the entire convention, so you guys want to check that out. But it's going to be an absolute blast, and I hope to see you guys there. But that's not the end of tonight's episode. No, like I said, next week is the start of the 2013 summer anime season. Now, when we did the spring anime season, I covered a number of series back to back, with small breaks in between to discuss it. This time around, I'm actually going to show a collection of trailers all at once, and then we'll talk about them as a whole afterwards. So these are about 10 to 12 of the upcoming new series and a couple returning series for the summer, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And there you have it. That's the part 1 of the lineup for the 2013 summer anime season. Now, I kept most of these trailers to just the one starting in the next couple weeks. Now, there are several other series that are starting sometime mid to late August, so I will probably host a part 2 when it gets closer to that time frame for those, including that Blaze Blue anime that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, so you saw a wide selection of what to expect for this upcoming summer. I mean, that last one, I'm going to mess up the name. It's Fate, Kaleid, Liner, Prisma, Ilia, which is essentially take most of the characters from the Fate universe, focus them all around Ilia. This is an alternate universe where she grows up as, I don't know, a magical girl, a magical schoolgirl. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. A few other series that I didn't show in there, Rokuryu's coming back for a second season. We know that Majestic Prince is continuing on, Attack on Titan still continuing, Railgun S is still continuing, so some great stuff. I'm kind of surprised at the quality of the production for the Hyperdimension Neptunia anime adaptation. I will have to check that one out. The Blood Lad one seems kind of interesting. It's supposed to be this like supernatural comedy with all these the main character is a vampire who's obsessed with the human world, but not because of drinking blood, but just everything else. Kind of interesting. Some of the new ones were fun. I do like what A1 Pictures is bringing to the summer this year, which is the Servant X Service. If it looked very similar to Wagnaria or Working as it was retitled here stateside, same group, same person, just instead of the day-to-day life and random happenings of a restaurant, it's the day-to-day life and random happenings of a health and welfare section of a ward office. So it should be fun. The Love Lab thing kind of took me back. Like, I watched the trailer trying to figure out what was going on. What was with the odd guy that was in multiple different positions and had a weird face on all the time. Well, it found out that the idea behind it is there's a very popular girl in school named Maki, and one of her friends, Riko, accidentally walks in on her kissing a pillow of that guy and learns that she's not what everyone thinks she is. So Riko is forced into keeping Maki's secret and join her, of course as being an anime, in practicing all aspects of romance like holding hands and more. I'm not making up. I'm reading that verbatim. Yeah. The Dagon Rampa anime you saw in the middle had the very striking visual style. It's supposed to be like this action mystery series where you have all these elite high school students at this very elite high school. It's very elite. You're getting the idea. But they find out that the school is presided over that bear you saw, that half black, half white bear, and who explains to them that their graduation hinges around committing a murder. Okay. What universe is this in? Okay. It was kind of cool to see the second season of Tamayura. This one's called More Aggressive. We've all seen Kiwani's Free, and even though it's surrounding guys swimming, there's a bunch of girls in the cast as well, and I'm still willing to give it a shot because Kiwani, like Production IG, has not had a very weak series in the past, in recent memory, so I will definitely give it a shot. And of course, we started off with the new Rose and Maiden, which that's actually, I thought it was going to be a continuation. It's actually an alternate universe, so they're kind of a semi-retelling, so we'll see what happens with that. But I wanted to mention a couple of the other things that are coming out in the next few weeks, namely some OVAs and, of course, some movies. We've talked about Ghost in the Shell Arise numerous times, so we don't have to go through that again. We know about that. Actually, this next one came out about last week or so. It was actually a retelling of a very popular series in manga form, and it was bundled with an OVA. And what I'm talking about is Mirai Nikki, I think it's, what was this called? Sorry. Redial. Mirai Nikki Redial, my bad. Not going to spoil anything on it. It's just a one-shot. It's actually a continuation in a different universe. Won't give you any more hints than that. You can go find this online. It should be coming stateside very, very soon. I know like Fairy Tail has an OVA coming out. We've talked about the OVAs for Oreimo. Those three, I'm thankful that Crunchyroll is actually going to be streaming those simulcast with a lot of the companies in Japan. But those don't come out until sometime mid-August, so we won't, show a trailer for that until we get closer to that. I know like Little Busters is getting an OVA. There's apparently there's this crossover between Fairy Tail and Rave that's getting like an OVA that's coming up sometime this summer. I know Rokubu has an OVA. There's a new Pokemon OVA because Pokemon will never die. There's all in all about 25 different OVAs or ONAs that are actually coming out over the next few weeks. So it's going to be plenty of fodder for all these American companies to pick up the licensing and stream them ASAP. Lot of great stuff coming out. Of course, we also have the new Ghibli film, Kaze Tachino. This will come out actually very soon in Japan, which means we'll hopefully get it before the end of this year stateside in a couple select theaters, which I will pay massive amounts of money to go see because it is a Ghibli film. They're always great. I'm still kind of waiting for How, which is Wit Studios' first movie about what is it? Essentially for a girl whose boyfriend was killed, and she kind of replaces him with a robotic doppelganger. Has very reminiscent tones of Steven Spielberg's / Stanley Kubrick's AI, but it could be good. We'll see what happens. I'm enjoying what Studio has done already with Attack on Titan. I'd like to see what they can do with a much toned down topic. Let's leave it at that. But that's just a taste of what's going to be happening over the next few weeks in the anime industry. You guys will definitely want to be checking out all your favorite websites: Funimation, Viz, Crunchyroll, that new one, Daisuki.net. A lot of them are going to be streaming a lot of these new series. Many of those series will be announced as simulcast over the next week. I'm sure we'll have several announcements at Anime Expo next week. So it's going to be a busy 14 to 20 days. So I will definitely try to keep up on it for you guys as much as possible. But I wanted to end real quick with a quick reminder about a Kickstarter that I'm actually helping out with. Very popular webcomic MegaTokyo. They are actually hosting this Kickstarter to turn the series about 1,300, 1,400 comics into a visual novel series. And you can go online, hit up just look up MegaTokyo on Kickstarter.com. And he's not even asking for much. If you just want the games themselves, part 1 is only $10. If you want part 1 and part 2, it's going to be about $25. If you want all 3 parts, and part 3 will be a brand new story, it will be just $35. Now, that being said, Fred Gallagher, the author and artist of MegaTokyo, has created a plethora of pledges you guys can check out for different prizes and different tiers of support, all the way from going down from $1 if you want to support a pixel in the game, all the way to you can have yourself drawn in and interact with your favorite MegaTokyo character for $2,000. And surprisingly, most of those higher up tiers are sold out. It's been going on for about 9 days now, and it's going to be going on for a full month. He was initially asking for $20,000. We're already at our second to highest tier of $155,000, which means there's going to be 3 games made, and the 3 games will have 13 different characters you can play. From, the main characters, Piero and Largo, to you also have Ping, you have Yuki, you can even play as Boo, for crying out loud. That's incredible. Even though we have all of these tiers funded, yes, there's still one more, the excessively romantic content at $500,000. We have 21 days, we'll see what happens. But even though we're already reached all these goals, if you want to be able to own these, we're talking starting $10. I think it's well worth it. Go ahead and hit up Kickstarter. Look up MegaTokyo and throw them a few bucks. You have 21 days left, so you have some time to figure out if you can support it. Even if you can't can't fund it yourself, if you can just spread the word, that would be an absolute amazing help to us. Thank you. But I think that's going to be it for this extended episode of AniBreak. Usually we're about 30 minutes. We've kind of hit the hour mark in just a moment. So back to the way we used to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Stay tuned for post-show. And for AniBreak, I'm Jason. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. See you guys next week. Take it easy.